But I don't want this battle to keep happening. Not this way. I know it's going to take time. I know it's going to take time. And I know that there's a part of me that loves me inside.
Don't talk about your trauma until you've healed from it. I've seen some advice from various people in the mental health space who have recommended that, saying, hey, they've only started talking about these things after they healed from it. Future Ken here to clarify on that piece of advice that was specifically about sharing your story publicly or writing a book or giving a live speech, that type of thing. Obviously, talking with trusted people or a therapist while you're healing is a very important part. So it was not about that. I've probably been breaking that rule for about the past 2.5 years. I think it's generally probably pretty good advice. I think it's pretty good advice because, you never know if you're going to get re-triggered or if you might go into victim mode and get stuck in it and talking about how difficult it is, but not doing the healing. And I'm sure I've done that some myself. I do think it's still very good advice for if you're writing a book or if you are giving a live speech, because for those types of formats, you kind of need the whole story to go along with it. Anyway, getting back. But I think it's important also that some people are willing to share it while they're in the journey. What you just saw there was me a week and a half ago, just a very short clip that I was recording to send to a therapist. The morning after I had let my emotions get the better of me and I destroyed my old phone. Got a new phone. It's a costly mistake, letting your emotions get the better of you. Had nothing to do with the phone itself, other than that's what I was recording a video on. It was supposed to be just a quick update, but then it was just taking so long and I got frustrated with myself, feeling incapable of being able to talk quickly. Kind of the underlying theme of how long things are taking, and kind of was building up from other stuff. But I'm not going to let that get to me. Earlier this year, I had fallen into that really deep down cycle that lasted for several months. And then after that, I was like, I'm just going to focus on the basics. I'm going to make sure I eat well, sleep well, do some exercise, work on the garden, get outside. And I stopped really doing much on the progressing toward being a coach. I was ignoring a very expensive program that I signed up for to help you learn how to run a coaching business. But I also got grandfathered into it when they upgraded it in the spring. So I've got a few more months on it. Otherwise it'd be expiring in just a couple weeks. And I'm back on it again now. And year before this, there was also that stretch of a good half year where I had gotten into my head and was just down and not functioning well. Earlier this year, honestly, I was scared of myself. I was scared of trying to push forward because I've seen that there's the pattern now of when I try to push forward, that's when my mind comes in and it's trying to help me by putting me down, trying to convince me that I can't do it. I've been seeing a lot of that happen in the past week and a half, 2 weeks since I've been back here. And even before that, it's still been trying to do that, using the tools that I've picked up in the meantime, self-soothing, trying to connect with myself. One of the things about that retreat, the psilocybin retreat that I was just on, I am more connected with my positive emotions, more connected with being able to cry at things that I find touching, which I enjoy. And I know that inside of me there is definitely that part of me that truly loves me and wants the best for me. And there's these other parts that are confused. They try to protect me by taking me out of the game, convincing me I can't, even if it means putting me down. Still working on it, but I think it's worth sharing these things. And I'm not gonna be able to coach someone to be able to get farther along the line than I am, but that's why you have a string of coaches. You know, I'll need my own coaches, but I could help coach people who are struggling with the same stuff I do, where I've found certain things that can help me. And that's my aim. But also sharing my own process as I'm going through this, as I've been kind of doing for the past 2.5 years. Sometimes I disappear for a while when I'm really in my head. Sometimes I've filmed things while I was directly in the middle of something. Sometimes it's been a little bit after where I talked about it. Or piecing things together going, wait a minute, what's up with that? How is this shaming going through? That doesn't make sense, and working through things. So, and still a work in progress, but that's all life too. We're all works in progress. So I think it's important that some of us are sharing these as we go through it as well. So while that advice to not share this kind of stuff until you've healed has a lot of merit to it, it's not necessarily for everybody. And I'm going to keep doing this. And I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to I definitely don't want to have a third year in a row where I have let my emotions get the better of me and taking me out of the game for months on end. Because, well, financially speaking, it'd be very bad, because I'm now living on my savings. My disability payments have ended. So I have to get my butt back in gear. And also, it just kind of stinks. So there's that too. Anyway, just wanted to give the update because, hey, I got a new phone. I got the new phone a week and a half ago, actually right after I made that last video. I ended up walking 4 miles that day, back and forth to the store in a very heavy and windy rainstorm. But it's all good. Take care. See ya. Future Ken again. I had a brain fart when I was doing the video last night, and I completely forgot to mention that while, yes, that clip you saw of me at the beginning was me a week and a half, a little bit more ago, I'm obviously doing much better now, and I have been most of the week. I had a lot of other stressors last week too that kind of came up that wasn't expected, such as my basement flooding. And during some of the training courses for coaching, some of my own doubts getting triggered, some brain fog coming in, trying to take me out of the game. But I've been using the tools and the self-soothing that I've learned and connected with in my own self, seeing that I do have that part of me that is always trying to fight for my highest self, my better improvement. And I've been doing that, been doing morning meditation, working that into my morning routine every day for the past week, talking with friends, talking with therapists, giving myself the positive reinforcement as best as I can. Not perfect, but hey, none of us are. But it's a good reminder of, looking at that from a week and a half, approaching 2 weeks now ago, versus now, it's almost like I'm two different people in these two videos. And when we're in the middle of it, it feels like it's never going to end, or it feels like, okay, maybe this section will end, but then it's going to be a cycle. But it doesn't mean it has to be that way. And it doesn't mean that we can't have tools and keep growing and trying to learn how to be more gentle with ourselves and to work with this and still carry forward despite our fears about the uncertainties that the future holds. And I think it's important to talk about this and share it. And so here is more of that video. It was a total of about 30 minutes that I sent to the therapist. And I went down yesterday and I cropped out a lot of the repetitive things and focused in on the main point. I think it's important to share, just seeing what space I was in only a week and a half ago and where I am right now, and that it's always worth fighting. So here you go. Enjoy or something. See ya.
And this is wasting so much time. I've been working on this now for 2 hours. And it was just supposed to be a quick little information, the little thing about how the that I had figured out that underneath the overwhelm last night was feeling incapable. And I spent 2 hours trying to say this instead of, it's like, I'm just trying to make a short video because I don't want to waste your time. And this is just taking all my time, and it's really overwhelming. And it's like, I see in this pattern of like, it takes me so long to do things, and all the time trying to I start getting overwhelmed by how much time it's taking and how slow I am, and if there's a feeling of being incapable underneath it, driving it all. It made no sense to get that overwhelmed because I was just trying to give you an update. Because I'm like, everyone tells me that you're capable, Ken. Everyone has so much faith in me from when I was at my job. But underneath, I was always feeling like a fake and a fraud because I'm like, but I only can do it because I have to spend so much time. When people tell me that I can be a good coach and that I should share my light with the world and that I'm a beautiful person. I mean, all of you told me that I'm a beautiful soul during the angel walk. And I'm like, but what's the point? If I can't do things, if I'm getting overwhelmed like this, and like it comes over me like really quickly once it gets to that point, and I'm like, I'm trying to soothe myself, and it was working, but then it suddenly is not working, and I'm still fighting this, and it feels like this battle between the part of me that loves myself that I know is in there. I felt it. I felt that in me, and I know it's still trying to do its job, and it's trying to do its job right now. And it's scary. And I know that it's there trying to get me to go forward, and there's a lot of things I love about life, and it's beautiful. But it's also the scary things, and everything that is hard about my life is only in here. I know it. I have a decent home. I had a good career. But I have what's in there, and I don't know how to get it out. That is like the part of me that loves me, and it wants to do the best for me. And then there's the part of me that just wants to destroy me. And all the parts where it says it's really trying to help me, but it does not feel like it. And I'm like, what's the point? Like if I'm a beautiful soul, but if all I can do is say, yeah, I know it hurts, but I can't help you because I don't know how to help myself because I still keep getting overwhelmed. And I was talking with one of the people, and he's saying, it's like, yeah, that core part of you that is still trying to fight, that's what connects us. That's what part of what makes the best healers the healers, is because they've gone through these things and then they can help someone later on. But I'm like, it feels like this is never going to end. It feels like this is going to be my constant thing of constantly fighting and trying to, part of me that loves me and trying to help me. And then, what's the point of being a beautiful soul if I'm just a waste of space? If I can't actually offer the world anything, I can't offer people any help, I can't do anything other than telling them that I understand. I can offer them some compassion. But that doesn't help them. It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help me. It's like the only thing I know I have to offer is just the listening. And I'm like, I can't get paid for that. People get paid for listening and having something that's helpful. You gotta have the two things together. So what's the point? Why people? What does it matter if I'm a beautiful soul? If I'm a beautiful soul who's just a waste of space, I'm still a waste of space. But I don't want this battle to keep happening. Not this way. I know it's going to take time. And I know that there's a part of me that loves me inside. But I keep getting overwhelmed by the other parts of me. And this isn't adding to my trust of myself. If I keep letting this happen, then it's just going to keep me from being able to trust myself. I'm sorry for how much time this is taking. Not for being me. Just sorry that it's not more succinct. But I need to figure out how to go inward and heal these parts because I don't know. I mean, I connected with myself during the retreat. giving myself that care. So all that told me was that yes, I do love myself inside. I do have that core part. It just confirmed that. It's all it did, but it didn't heal any of the other parts. And I'm reading that No Bad Parts book, or talking about people going in and healing parts of themselves. I haven't done anything like that, and I don't know how to. All I've done is connected with my core self. I don't know what to make of this. Because I still need to connect with what's inside and become comfortable with myself more. It's a lot to unpack. But I guess what I was saying before, I obviously got to keep going because I don't have a choice. But I don't know how to stop myself from getting overwhelmed like this. And now I've got a very expensive phone to replace. I gotta figure things out. But thank you, Connie, for all the help. And it was a good suggestion about the dancing. It wasn't the dancing itself that got me, that had me a little nervous, but it was all the wasting time and everything else that got me agitated and the feeling incapable. I guess I was feeling incapable of the dancing too, going, I can't even move my body. But I have evidence that I have, but when I'm alone, I don't know. But, thank you. I am more connected with my emotions and I'm crying now, so that's an improvement actually, come to think of it. Because even when I got overwhelmed before, I wasn't crying. I am glad of that, because I always have wished that if I felt like I needed to cry, that it felt like it wasn't coming, and it felt. So yeah. In this case, it's because I'm overwhelmed, but maybe I'm still more connected with my emotions now than I was before. Maybe. It seems probably. Yeah, maybe I am more connected with my emotions now than I was before. So I can see that about the crying. I didn't mind the crying. I thought it was a good thing. I've always wished when I've had times where I needed to cry and it wouldn't come out. I could feel something, but then it would just go away. It would frustrate me. So I'm glad that it's connected. I hope I'm not talking too softly. I'm still talking. I keep saying I was saying a couple minutes ago I was going to go. I'm going. I'm sorry. I'll figure things out, I guess.